everyone, and welcome back to the United Star for another episode of Starcast, where we take you all through what's been happening in the football world and the latest on Manchester United as well. We've got Sid with us and Priyan with a new look with his new mustache. He's got a new lockdown look finally. So let's get straight into it. I think the biggest thing that's happened over the past week is that international break is finally over. But a bigger story than that, Sid, I want to come to you. Pep Guardiola has signed a 2 year extension at Man City. Everyone was saying he's leaving. That's why his team are performing so badly. Third year syndrome, fourth year syndrome, all these talks were going on. But he's stuck with Man City. Now, is this the product of a pandemic because he knows if he goes somewhere else, he's not going to get billions of dollars to spend? Or does he actually want to finish his career at Man City? What do you think?
Look, I think it's the first thing itself because if you've seen him at Barca, Bayern, and now at City, he's always got the money to spend, right? Which other club realistically will give him that much money to spend on his only his defense, right? He spent what? How much has he spent on his defense, right?
More than a few
Billion.
countries' GDPs.
So yeah, I think it's mainly because. Um, is mainly because I think City is the platform that will give him enough money to buy the players he wants, and I think the possibility of Messi coming to Man City next season, which I don't think will happen. I think that's another reason he will possibly stay for that Messi reunion.
Guys, when Sid says when he thinks it won't happen, what he's trying to say, he doesn't want it to happen. He doesn't have any idea whether it will or won't happen, but he doesn't want it to happen. But
Uh,
Priyan, what I want to ask you is actually two things. I know he spends a lot on defense, but is Pep Guardiola going to go down in history as the man who changed football to an extent? First, and second, what is left for him to do at City? If he doesn't win the Champions League in the next 2 years, can you actually term his time at Man City a failure?
I don't think you can term it as a failure. I mean, of course, they haven't performed in the Champions League, but I think he has been, phenomenal with Barca at least. I think Bayern is not the club where you can judge a manager because it's a one-horse race over there. And City too. I mean, City were not performing as well, when he came into the team and he built his team obviously with an unlimited pool of cash, but he did build it into a double title winning league team. So I mean, yeah, I've really liked him as a manager. I mean, I've always appreciated his tactics. I've never felt that he has that killer instinct to, get the win when needed. I feel he lacks that, but tactically, he's one of the best out there.
Mhm. Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think it's fashionable and it's fun to say Fraudiola and he needs money to win titles, this, that. But Manchester United have spent 1 billion pounds since Sir Alex Ferguson left. We've had four managers and we've not won a single title.
Yeah.
but
Now
then,
Pep Guardiola, yeah, said, go on.
but then, has that money been spent wisely? Has it been spent for the correct
Yeah, but then
players?
that is
Right.
not the manager's fault, right? Like that
Exactly.
is.
So the whole thing about United spending 1 billion for players and all, it doesn't make sense to me because it has not been
But
spent
Sid,
properly.
but Sid, this is what I want to say. Actually, this is what I was getting to. Guardiola has bought in massive failures as well. He got in John Stones, he got in Claudio Bravo, he's
Nolito.
got yeah, Nolito, he's gotten Rodrigo, all these players who are absolutely useless. And, yet he's able to bring the best out of them. Yet he's got that team to score 100 plus goals in 2 seasons. And, everyone said Pep style doesn't work in the Premier League, it's too physical. And after Arsene Wenger, I think this is the biggest change the Premier League has seen is the passing out from back, which Guardiola brought it to the Premier League in my view. So I do think that he goes down as one of the best managers in the history of the game. I don't think he goes down as the best manager in the history of the game. Controversially, I don't think he goes down as the best manager of this generation either, because I think that title goes to the man who beat him 2-0, Tottenham Hotspur versus Man City. We have to talk about that. It was a Jose Mourinho masterclass. He parked the bus in the last two games at White Hart Lane, or I mean whatever they call it, the Spurs Stadium. The last two games against Pep Guardiola's Man City, 40 shots from Manchester City have led to zero goals. 5 shots from Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur have led to 4 goals, and Mourinho has taken 6 points.
I think it all.
Is Mourinho
Yeah,
onto something at Tottenham Hotspur, Priyan?
I think that the moment when he told Kane in the All or Nothing video where I'm going to help you explode, just give me everything. I think that's just done something to Kane, and they've I don't know what's happened. I think he has 45 goal contributions under Mourinho. That's fabulous for Harry Kane. He's just transformed him. I think Gary of Phil Neville, he said that he reminds him of Zidane. And he's a striker, and Zidane was an attacking midfielder. He's dropping in, he's scoring the goal, he's carrying the team. He's just too good. He's transformed him into a fabulous asset.
Yeah. Sid, this is what I've been saying. Harry Kane's a world class player. On this channel, some people like Rishi, Vishesh, Priyan have made fun of me saying that, Harry Kane's not that good. I mean, in my view, I have said this on a previous podcast and a previous channel. I think Harry Kane's the best striker in the world. He's better than Robert Lewandowski in my view. And you can hold me to that. Sid, what do you think? Do you agree? Jose Mourinho looking to win a trophy at Man United, I'm saying at Man United, at Tottenham Hotspur?
Look, this season is absolutely unpredictable. I will not be surprised because if Spurs end up winning the league, because they have been absolutely fabulous this season. Um, and I think Jose's got it right at Spurs, and I think they are on course to win the league this season. So I yeah, that's my opinion. I think they're going to win the league this season. Too
I
early
mean,
to say, but
I have to admit, I am a Jose Mourinho romantic. I have to admit, I absolutely love Jose Mourinho. I hate him for what he said at United because he thought he was bigger than the club. But in my view, he's yet the most successful manager we've had after Sir Alex. He won us 2 trophies. No manager has managed to even come close to that. But more than that, I don't think that there's only one way to play football, which Pep and Klopp play. I think Jose Mourinho and Diego Simeone provide a great counter to show us this as to how you can play another brand of football and yet win matches, because you can talk about it being boring all you want, but I for one enjoy a good hard tackle. I for one enjoy a good hard fought clean sheet. So Priyan, do you share Sid's sentiment? Are Tottenham early favorites to win the Premier League then? Because at the end of the day, we are talking about the greatest bottlers, the same team which came third in a two-legged
horse
race.
Exactly.
race.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's too early to say that they are looking very good. But, again, it comes down to sustaining it for such a long period of time. And, because of COVID, we have such a bad run of fixtures with 2 games per week for a very long time now. So it's going to be difficult to sustain that. But they are looking the favorites. Coming to that, even Chelsea are looking very good now. They've got so many clean sheets. I think Eduardo Mendy has sort of transformed the team. He's like the missing key they needed, and Liverpool are not out of it yet. I mean, they are still a very good team, although they have a lot of injuries. So I won't count them out still, but yeah. But I think as of now, Tottenham look the best.
Yeah, I think I want to add to that by saying that Harry Kane probably in his mind goes like, whom do I want to play football for? It's probably Mauricio Pochettino. You want to play that free-flowing attacking style of football, but whom will I win trophies with? It is probably Jose Mourinho. He's the
Yeah.
ultimate pragmatist. He knows that his team cannot go toe to toe with City. He's just sat there the entire game. He's gotten his 2 goals and he's going home smiling. What does he say after the game? We're not in the title challenge. We are here to win every game we can. That is classic Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
He's got a team that is the underdog. He loves that. He's got a set of players whom he's definitely brainwashed, because Harry Kane in the post-match interview wasn't talking about goals. He said we play the low block, mid block, and high block. Harry Kane, who's England's premier striker, who's getting all these goals, who gets 20 goals a season for fun, is talking about which blocks he plays. So he's absolutely brainwashed his players, as he always does, and these guys are playing for him. So yeah, I think Chelsea and Spurs, and Chelsea, I mean, Sid, you have to give Lampard some credit here. The way he's got Ziyech, Werner, Havertz, Chilwell, and of course Mendy and Thiago Silva, we all thought that he won't be able to get these players to play together. He's found a way to play Abraham, Mount, Werner, Ziyech all at the same time. So what do you make of Chelsea? They did have a decent game. They could have easily won that game 5-0.
Look, when Chelsea played us, I was kind of critical of Frank Lampard because he played negative football. right? At Old Trafford, he came in and he played super negative football with really good attackers. So I was critical of him then. But the way his team is playing now, the way they've gelled, I personally did not think that Chelsea, after buying a whole new starting 11, I didn't think that the team would gel in like immediately this season. But he's done a really, really, really good job, and I think full credits to Lampard for doing that.
But sit from a United perspective, this just shows what even a shit manager like Lampard can have his team in second place when the board backs him. This is what this shows, and this is what we have to take away from it as Manchester United fans. Because let's face it, Frank Lampard is no tactical god.
Mhm.
He's not a Pep Guardiola. He's not a Jose Mourinho. And I'm hoping next week when Chelsea take on Spurs, we get to see another masterclass where Lampard is humiliated. But this just goes to show that if we would have backed if the board would have backed Oli, we could have been in a better place as well.
Hundred
This is
percent,
what is disappointed.
100%.
So,
I
Priyan, we
completely
haven't
agree.
heard what you think about sort of United's game 1-0 against West Brom. Sid and me did the review. If you all haven't seen that, check that out. But 1-0 against West Brom. What are your thoughts? Bad finishing or lack of creativity?
I don't know. I don't know what's happened to Martial. Like you might as well play with 10 men. He's not there in the game. It's just disappointing to watch him play. Um, it was a boring game. I personally I hated when we win a game on a penalty, a single penalty, and it's a 1-0. I feel like I don't enjoy those games, and this was just that. And the penalty too, we got lucky because he missed his first one, and then he got to retake it again. I don't even know what to pinpoint it at because I don't know what the problem is. There's no creativity. We're so heavily dependent on Bruno to do everything. It's just I don't know. It's boring football.
Yeah. Yeah. We've spoken at length about Man United's game, but let's talk about something else that's going on at Man United since we've come to Man United. Sid, this is your favorite topic, so I'm going to bring you in. Paul Pogba, go.
Paul Pogba. I don't know what happened to him. Apparently, he suffered a knock before the.
No.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing really well for France, and then he comes back and he gets a knock. I do not understand what is going on with that man. Right? He goes in, he plays brilliantly for France. He had one bad game, and then he had two good games. Right? He comes back and he gets a knock. There was no sign of him being injured, right? And I think this all comes down to his attitude, at the club, right? I don't. Ole wants a player who will play for the badge, right? Pogba at the moment is not playing for the badge, and that's why I think Ole has dropped him constantly, right? And I think that's why there has been something wrong has happened, and that's why Pogba was not featured against West Brom, or probably he's been rested for Istanbul or something like that. But there is
But Sid,
something
what do you
going
make
on.
of this athletic articles? Two athletic articles I want to ask you about.
Mhm.
Pogba's transfer value is falling, is what they've come out and said. B, his contract talks have been shelved. So, what is his future? Is he going out in Jan? Do you think? What would you do if you had to make this decision?
Look, first of all, I think both are absolutely correct. Uh, his value is definitely dropping by the month,
Yeah, it's definitely
right?
not 85 million
Yeah, because first of all, he's not
what
even
do you call it for.
starting
It's
for
definitely not
United
that.
anymore. He's not even starting for. He's on the bench, right? The only team he starts for is the French national team, right? He's not even starting for United, and you would not pay around 80 million for a player who sits on the bench for Man United, right? So I and shelving Pogba's contract talks is a really good decision by the club, right? Because right now I don't see anything coming from him. There's nothing against Pogba here, okay? I don't see he's massively inconsistent. Like when Bruno comes in, he has one bad game. Okay, that's excusable, but then he has a run of really good games, right?
No, and Sid, his run of good games is man of the match performances. But go on.
Exactly, exactly. I
Yeah,
don't remember the last time Pogba put in a man of the match performance. Probably in 2016 when he joined was his last man of the match performance.
and that's
Last man
been
of
the
the match
problem with him.
performance, 2-0 down against City, winning 3-2. Yeah, Priyan,
Oh
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's the problem with him. We got him in 2016 and it was a very exciting signing. I think I've never been more excited for a signing for United. But every season we felt that okay, this season he's not performed that well, but next season he's going to step up. And it's been happening for 4 years now, and he's
4 years.
still not stepped up. He's so inconsistent. He has. I'm not even talking game wise. He's inconsistent during a game. He'll have two or three beautiful turns and good passes, and then he disappears from the game.
Mhm.
And um, I personally feel like Ole has to really sit down with him and have a talk with him. He has to ask him if he really wants to play for United. And if he doesn't want to play, just cash in on him. He's still 27, I think 27, 28. Get the money and whatever it is the amount, just let him go.
Swap him for
But
Cristiano. Swap him for Cristiano.
So,
whatever it is,
guys,
just
this is my
get
view
rid
on
of him.
Pogba.
And
I think we've triggered a 1 year extension on his contract, right?
Mm.
So
yeah,
he's with us for this season and the next.
Mhm.
So this is my theory. He plays very well for France, right?
Mm.
As we all have said. Let him go. Keep him in January. Don't sell him in January. Hope that he wins man of the tournament at the Euros and then sell him again for 80 million. That is the only way this works where we can recoup our payment on Paul Pogba. Wait till the Euros. Let him apparently show how good he is, how much of a world beater he is at the Euros, and then let him go, pack his bags, and let him go.
Yeah.
I don't think we should sell him if we don't get the right price for him either. Like Jadon Sancho wasn't sold by Dortmund, why should we sell Paul Pogba if we don't get the right price? Let him sit on the bench and waste away the best years of his career. That's his own personal problem, in my opinion. Okay, the wages are high, but like let's not even get into how many wages we are playing absolutely useless players. I'd
Exactly.
rather pay Paul Pogba to sit on the bench than have Phil Jones give him a new contract for 3 years so that he can sit on the injury table. So
Exactly.
let's not even get into that. But let's get some more because there's not much to talk about Man United. We are playing Basak Shahir, and you will see our preview as well. So, but let's talk a little bit more about some games in the Premier League. Priyan, is Aston Villa's honeymoon period over and they've come back to reality? They've lost 3 of their last 4 games.
it does look like it. But I was saying the game. They don't play that badly. They're still a very good team. They have some lapses in concentration, and that's when they concede. But going forward, they are a very good team, and I think it's a very positive outlook they have in the game. They pass the ball around well. It's quick passes, and they mess up. They do mess up in the final third, but they were pretty good otherwise. So uh, I think they're still a very good team. I have like seeing them play so well.
But Priyan, what
But
does Barkley
yeah, I think
really mean now? Ross
we
Barkley
never
has done.
expected them to win the league.
Yeah, of course not. But
Yeah.
Priyan, Ross Barkley seems to have done his hamstring. If he's out for a month or two, do you think Villa will be able to sustain their level of performance? Because he seemed to be making the difference in the midfield.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's been a problem for them. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one for them from now on without Barkley, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Sid, what about Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski? Can't stop scoring. Bambi on ice. He's found his skates, as his mom said.
So yeah, I think Calvert-Lewin has been one of the most exciting players this season. He's just risen to another level right now. Um, I, to be honest, I can't really predict what will happen with him this season. Will Everton end up winning the league or something like that? Because
No, they
to
won't
be
end up
honest,
winning the league.
I don't see much
Yeah,
of
they won't.
Everton anyways. So I
But
like
but Sid, let me ask you this then. You don't know what will happen in his future. Would you take him at Manchester United?
no, no,
No? Why
no.
so?
I would take
Why,
him
why?
right away. I would swap him for Martial right away, right now.
But why Martial?
Then who?
Striker for striker.
Then give them Cavani.
I
Yeah,
knew
but
this. Sid was, but
Cavani
Sid,
doesn't
why
play.
not? But
I
Sid,
think
forget swapping anybody. Why wouldn't you sign Dominic Calvert?
But then how many strikers do we have? Do we just fill our? Do we just keep on signing strikers every bloody transfer season, transfer window?
that's why I was
But
swapping him for Martial, right?
no, but Priyan said, my question is, do we have that many? Is Martial actually a number 9? Has Martial scored a single goal that Calvert Lewin scores? Has he scored a single goal kind of goal that Harry Kane scores?
Has he
I
jumped
don't.
over a defender ever and headed the ball in?
Did you not see the game against West Brom that Harry Kane scored out of nowhere? You know, I want to see that kind of goal from Martial. Have we seen those kinds of goals? Is Martial a number 9? I think this is something we need to decide. I would lap up Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I don't care if we have 4 strikers also. I think
Yeah,
Dominic
same.
Calvert-Lewin is a poor man's Harry Kane, and we need a poor man's Harry Kane in this team right now.
Look, but I personally feel I think we have lots of strikers in our team right now, and we
But
really need to focus.
name
I've
one
seen
player
I've
apart from
seen
Cavani
Dominic.
who's a striker, Sid.
Sorry.
I've seen Calvert-Lewin boss defenders. They are scared to have him in the D. When he's there in the D, you feel a presence. I don't feel that with Martial ever. I've never felt that with Martial.
He's tall. He heads the ball as if Cristiano Ronaldo is heading the ball.
Yeah,
Then might
finishing
as
is
well
also
send.
fabulous.
So in my
No,
opinion, I wouldn't take.
We're not going to sign Cristiano Ronaldo. To be honest, you know what, Sid? I'll tell you this. I'd rather sign a 25-year-old Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a 24-year-old Dominic Calvert-Lewin than a 36-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah,
But at 36, look at Cristiano's injury record, man. He is one of the fittest footballers in the world, and
but
dude,
I mean,
the I to be honest, my whole this thing of bringing Cristiano back is uh, completely driven by emotion. But
yeah,
then the but
I
then
see that.
what does Cristiano knows the meaning of playing for Man United, right? He's a proper leader, right? Cristiano brings almost everything that we lack. I pray this signing happens. I pray some
But is
sense
it
come. Okay, sorry. Say.
is it worth all the money that we spend on him just to get a maybe he's played and I'm not doubting his abilities. I've tried to do that a lot of times and he's proven me wrong every single time. But yeah, I mean you're spending too much money for that. I would say instead get a Dominic Calvert-Lewin who's you're planning for the future. You're
Sid,
not planning for the future
Sid,
with
let me ask
Cristiano.
you this. I said Dominic Calvert-Lewin is the poor man's Harry Kane. Would you take Harry Kane over Cristiano Ronaldo?
To be honest, I wouldn't take anyone over Cristiano Ronaldo. Like I'm telling you, I am that guy who dreams every year that Ronaldo will one day come back to Man United.
Ian, let me tell you why Sid dreams about this. That's because Sid started watching Man United in 2012, so he's never seen Ronaldo. So that's all he wants to see.
No,
That's
2014, and I
2014. So
no, but then United kept on putting his clips up on Twitter, right? To cover for the shambles that they were doing in the transfer window. So I
Yeah.
I would love the prospect of him coming
yeah,
back.
see, the romantic in me loves the prospect of having Cristiano Ronaldo, but the realist in me doesn't see it happening. To be honest, because the Premier League is a whole different beast, and his injury record is brilliant. He's a great player. There's no doubt Cristiano Ronaldo is the second greatest of all time or the greatest of all time, depending on what statistic you look, on what trophy you look. You can argue that with Messi, but I don't know. I feel that, I mean, Harry Kane probably would help this team a lot more. I mean, he's showing how good he is. But
And
anyway,
the mentality that he brings into the team, he's so mentally strong, and you see that fight in him. Other than Bruno and sometimes Maguire and Lindelof, I don't see the fight in any of our players.
I you know what
David De Gea.
Rashford, of course.
and to be honest, I don't see it in the centre backs. I don't see that much in the centre backs.
I think I yeah.
I mean, I'm being critical here because I personally don't like the centre back pairing at all. Um, but
I think
I
they're
think
given.
Bruno is the
Yeah,
perfect example of what a Man United player should be. Hardworking, plays for the bloody badge. He's I mean, he's probably all our best players rolled into one with this squad. Compare him to this squad. He's all our best players rolled into one. He's the Roy Keane of the team, right? The best Manchester United captain ever.
Sid, I'm not going to let you go that far. He's not the Roy Keane of the
No,
team.
no, no. I'm
I'll
just
tell you
saying.
why. No, I'll tell you why, Sid. I have a theory. Bruno Fernandes, tell me which important match did Bruno Fernandes show up in?
He showed up in bloody all important matches.
No. The two semi-finals he played, he didn't show up in them. Against which big team has Bruno Fernandes showed up against?
City, Spurs. Okay,
No,
Spurs weren't big then.
no. Against City last season, I'll give you that. He showed up. He gave that one pass. Against Spurs, he got taken off at 45.
he was good in
So
his
Not
my
the
Chelsea
theory
six
game
with
one,
also.
Bruno
not the six
Fernandes
one,
is,
not the 6-1. The one after the
Uh,
lockdown
the
was
one
lifted.
all, the
Yeah,
one
the
all
one
you
all.
can't say he really did much. Come on, he scored a penalty. One all wasn't much. Come on. But you know what my theory is? Why I don't think he's like Roy Keane, because the fact that you shout on the pitch doesn't make you like Roy Keane or Wayne Rooney. He does not lift his performance when we need it the most. In that semi-final, he was shouting at left, right, and center. But was Bruno Fernandes really good in that semi-final?
Yeah, true.
I think he was one of our better players on the pitch. Not the best, but one of our better players.
Yeah, this is where I disagree. I mean, I love Bruno Fernandes to bits. I think he's two levels above everyone else in the squad. But to compare him to Roy Keane and Wayne Rooney as a leader, I don't think so. Just because you shout, now the difference is when Roy Keane and Wayne Rooney would shout at their teammates, their performance would lift two times higher. I haven't seen Bruno's performance lift when the team is down.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying he's the new Roy Keane of the club. I'm saying that I'm just the what I said was that he's currently all our best players right now, right? He is.
Yeah, but
So
in the current
I'm not
squad,
saying
I'm
Bruno
not.
is the next Roy Keane. I don't think anyone will be like the Roy Keane of Man United. I don't think there's any player out in this world who will be the player Roy Keane was, the captain Roy Keane was to Man United. I don't think there's any player who's like that. Right? I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I'm just giving examples of the better players, the
yeah.
best players we had, and I'm just saying that Bruno is the best player in our team right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think Bruno Fernandes, technically, the drive he has, the ability he has, he's two levels above everyone we've
But
ever had. But
penalties.
this is the. But Sid, this is my problem. Every new player that Man United comes who has a good run of games, we suddenly start comparing him to all these. The other day, I saw Paul Will, Marcus Rashford, or Mason Greenwood be score more goals than Wayne Rooney at Manchester United.
No.
And like there was apparently 70% of the people thought that they will. There is a reason why Bobby Charlton's record, Sir Bobby Charlton, I should say, his record stood for so long. There is a reason why there is only two players who've scored more than 200 goals in the Premier League. There are reasons for this. It is not easy to do it. There's a reason why Alan Shearer is a revered striker. And it's hilarious that whenever there's a debate about who's the best player in the Premier League, it's Henry, Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard, Giggs, and somehow Wayne Rooney never gets mentioned, and the man's won 5 Premier Leagues and scored 200 goals. I find it absolutely hilarious. But anyway, let's move on to my favorite manager in the league after Jose Mourinho, El Loco, Marco Bielsa. He he just does not seem to go away. He will play the same style of football, and it does not matter if he loses the last game 5-0, 6-0. If he wins the last game, he will just keep coming at you. Priyan, what do you make of it? In the Arsenal game that happened, I think in the second half, up to 65, 70 minutes, leads at 75% possession.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you trust he trust his players firstly, and you trust your abilities, you trust your knowledge in football. I think it shows he's such an experienced manager, and tactically one of the best out there. So I don't think you have to ever change your style for that. That's classic El Loco.
Yeah, Sid.
He's I think he's denying Arsenal anything right now. I think Leeds are on the front foot. They've been on the front foot throughout the second half.
Yeah, and the saves that Bernd Leno had to pull off in that game, and
Yeah.
they hit the post a couple of times. I mean, that also brings me to Mikel Arteta. What happened to the tactical genius Mikel Arteta was? And it's a little hypocritical that I say this because I also bought into that whole argument of Mikel Arteta being Pep's mini-me and he's doing this and he's doing that. And I sort of bought into the argument by the fact that he won the FA Cup, but I was always circumspect of how he's improved the Arsenal team. This is my question to you all. Has he improved this Arsenal team?
I think Arsenal's biggest problem has been their defense for a very long time. And in the defensive aspect, I do feel he has improved. I think, but much credit has to be given to Gabriel. I think he's been phenomenal for them.
Yeah.
Going forward, I think the goals have dried up. I think Aubameyang has not scored a goal in 7 hours right now. Make it 8 now that he's not scored in this game too.
Mhm.
They haven't scored an uh, open field goal in a very long time too. Even the goal against United was a penalty. So going forward, I think the creativity has dried up. Uh, Focus too much on the defense with he plays Xhaka and Ceballos is started for the first time in a very long time, but it's a very defensive team out there. So I think I wouldn't say that he's overhyped already. He will, I think, develop the team going forward. Maybe when he gets in some more signings attacking wise, but yeah, I think only defensively, I would say as of now.
Sid, did Arsenal fans take Arsene Wenger for granted? Because with a much shittier team, he got them top four almost
Yeah,
every season, guaranteed.
they
So is
realize
this
that
a
now.
case of,
Definitely. I mean,
yeah, go on, Sid.
the Arsenal team which got top four and the one we used to make fun of all the time, right? They were absolutely trash, and Wenger still got top four with them. I mean,
Yeah.
Wenger is one of the geniuses of the game, right?
Yeah.
So I
I
think
think
I
the
think after
emotions were just very high after the drubbing from Bayern, 10-0 and 10-1, I think. I think the emotions were just
ten
too high
two,
and they were 10-2. But maybe he was too old also to continue, but they always, I think, underrated him because uh, the end was not as phenomenal as they expected.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember that one game where we went to Emirates and they beat us 3-0. And that game, I saw Sanchez and Ozil, and they were running around our defenders. And uh, I think that game was when I realized that Wenger is really and truly a phenomenal manager.
Yeah, I think
Wenger,
somewhere. Sorry, go on.
no, go on. Go
No,
on.
I think somewhere Arsenal fans expected, they envied the farewell Sir Alex had, right? Greatest manager in the Premier League. They kind of envied him and they wanted a similar thing for Wenger, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's why they were like, oh, you have to win us the league before you leave and all, and if you don't win us, you're trash and all. So I seriously feel Arsenal fans were very critical of Wenger, although he's done so much for them.
See, I think there are two ways to look at it. One argument where Jose Mourinho said he's a specialist in failure. I mean, that is true if you don't win a league and you are the so-called such a good manager for so long, then it has to be questioned as to, where it's going wrong. The second side of it is that the board absolutely did not give him any money.
Yeah.
And he was making the most of the resources they were there. So he definitely did overstay his welcome at Arsenal. He should have left a couple of years ago. And I think if he would have left then, he would have left with a lot more respect from the fans. And the fans, I think now they won't admit it, but I do think they see that it's almost as if we were hoping for Allegri to come in or Pochettino to come in, and they got stuck with Good Evening, and now they've gotten stuck with Mikel Arteta. So probably you realize that football is not an easy game. It's not that easy for you to go out and say that, oh, why aren't you all getting a title? Why aren't you all getting this? Why aren't you getting that? It's only when you realize what are the smaller things that go into it that those make a lot of difference. And I think Arsene Wenger is a good example of that. But I don't know. There's not much more to say about that, but I think Arsenal haven't looked that good this season at all. So I think we've
Agreed,
covered
agreed.
most of the teams in the Premier League. The Champions League is back. We'll be talking about that in our next podcast once the games have been played. But just final thoughts. Any outstanding VAR controversies you all think this week?
To be honest, I think there wasn't a handball yesterday.
Like
Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
No, no, no.
So my view,
In our game, and I
oh,
think,
in our game.
yeah, yeah. I
I
don't.
think De Bruyne came out with the perfect line. I think I've never heard a more perfect line. He said, "I've played the game for 12 years, and for the first 9 years of my career, the rules were same, and in the last 3 years, they've changed so much that I don't even know the rules anymore." And I think
Exactly.
I agree with that so much. It's so vague. There's no it's never the same rule. I think they were talking about the Premier League badge being the handball, below that being a handball, and it hit Jesus at the badge, and that was given a handball. So it's very vague.
But Priyan, my one thing about Jesus's handball is that he moves his hand like this almost to cushion the ball. So he's
Ah,
making a movement with his hand to cushion the ball. And for me, I think that is intentionally he's trying to block the ball with that. And if it is anywhere close, I think that should be given handball.
I think Jesus
Ours,
was.
in fact, I think that was a penalty. I think Bruno Fernandez, I think that easily could have been a penalty. And I think Ole came out and said as well that we got lucky with the sort of VAR decisions in the game. But then again, if we wouldn't have
Yeah.
gotten lucky, I don't think Ole would be in his job right now.
True.
So yeah, VAR. I think is again. I feel there were a few decisions that were 50-50 that could have gone either way. I think Selvin Bilic already said that all decisions seem to go against him. So So yeah, there is no consistency like Priyan said, and then of course in the Fulham game as well, they missed a penalty again. That's becoming the norm sort of for them to miss penalties. I'm thinking Ariola is going to take the next penalty for them. So let's see, guys. An interesting week. Tottenham Hotspur are on the top of the table right now, but that could change in the next game if either Leicester or Liverpool win. We're shooting this before that game, of course. So if either of them win that game, it could be a change. I'm hoping to see Jamie Vardy rout this Liverpool defense. I think that will
Yes,
be
yes.
beautiful to. That will
And I
be
think they're
beautiful
going to
to
play the
watch.
under 12s or something.
James Milner is picking a shit out of the hat as to which position he's going to play. Right wing, centre midfield, centre back, right back, left back. James Milner is doing that right
For
now.
all you know,
Also, an interesting
he'll start over
Also, an
Adrian as
interesting thing
backup.
that happened is there was a huge bust up at the end of the Arsenal Leeds game with Kieran Tierney
Yeah.
and the Leeds players. So, I mean, the Premier League is bringing up all kinds of surprises. So, guys, do stay tuned to the United Stars. Subscribe to the channel. We'll bring you all a new roundup next week with some special guests as well as to what's happened in the Champions League, what's happened in the Premier League, another VAR controversy, hopefully. And there are some big games coming up as well. Tottenham Hotspur is taking on Chelsea. The apprentice faces the master. Let's see what happens there. So thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all soon.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our video. If you do like it, please click on the thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell icon to get daily notifications from the United Star. Follow us on Instagram at the.unitedstar and we will see you soon.